Blessings, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I'm here today with a really magical crystal that you might not give a second thought if you came across it in a crystal shop. It's not what you'd call one of those spectacularly clear or significantly showing metaphysical properties, though there is lots to see in this crystal. So let me tell you how this came into my hands this morning. I was doing my thing, my morning routine, and suddenly I was just guided to stop in the middle of what I was doing and start moving things around, start clearing things up, decluttering. This is not an unusual thing to happen when a crystal is about to show itself, when it starts singing. The idea was the crystal was trying to get me to pick it up, and while I was decluttering, underneath some clutter was this box of crystals I had set aside when I was cleaning up last week. So, there's many ways that the crystals will get your attention. And that's a common one for me, where suddenly I find myself doing something that takes me right out of my routine, right out of what I was intending to do, out of my plans, in quotes, and suddenly I'm moving things around and picking things up and changing where something is supposed to be, and then I have a crystal in my hand, and that's what happened this morning with this one. And then the crystal takes me into this magical space of being and starts to reveal its magic to me. So, for instance, I don't know where to start with this one. Let's start with the Isis face, if I can get the light in just the right way so you can see. That's probably about as best as I can get it at this angle. But that's not really as magical as Isis crystals are, because they're quite rare to find, but that's just the beginning of what I started to see. And I should note that it's raining today. It's very gray outside. It's dark in the house. And I think that's just, this was the perfect light for this crystal to be seen, and that's why it was calling to me at that moment. And if you look at it, you can see it's quite dark. There's a lot of inclusions. Though, let's see if I can get you to see that about halfway up it starts to get clear. And it reminded me of a dark storm cloud at the bottom. And at the top, I started to see rainbows. So what I was hearing was this crystal had a rainbow riding a storm cloud. And that was pretty magical and powerful. Rainbow riding a storm cloud. It just felt like there was so much in that one phrase. And then when I looked at it at a certain angle, I noticed that, and I'm going to try and show it to you, a stairway appeared. The stairway going all the way up the side of the crystal and through to a couple of rainbows. You might be able to see it from this angle. There's the rainbow, and I hope that you can see the stairway that takes you up. So it took me to this space of I started thinking about the song Stairway to Heaven, and this is what the energy of this stairway felt like. It was a stairway to heaven. And then what I also noticed, and I really don't think I will be able to show you this on camera, is there's an inner light in this crystal. I have discovered, and I've only seen it, I think, in 2 other crystals, and both are in my private collection. I really don't know how. It's very hard to capture. Let me put it this way. It's hard to discover. It's not something that is seen so easily. It's something that, you know what, it's really something that the crystal has to show you. And this light, it's different than the flash of light that you see, like you see these beautiful flashes of light, and we're able to see that because it's dark here, and when it's dark, you get to see the light in a crystal in certain ways, and the veils of these mirrors that hang in the crystal that reflect really magical things. But this light that I saw is very different than those. It's an inner glow. It's very ethereal, and it moves. And if you were to see it, if you were to be able to see it, it's very different than any other inner light that you would see in a crystal. So that's another magical thing that I saw about the crystal, and that in and of itself, each one of these qualities of this crystal in and of itself is very special, but that inner light that I'm telling you about right now it really does bring in that ethereal heaven aspect, and helps affirm that stairway to heaven. Where you see more light and more rainbows, and the stepped pattern that leads you up beyond this earth. Such a magical stone being. And then when you turn it around, you see that this crystal was once double terminated, and you can see where the termination was broken. And I believe it was through a storm like the one we're having today, and lightning striking the tip of this crystal and breaking off the top. And this crystal did not stay broken. You can see the shine of the new growth, the new faces that have come through this healing that this crystal has undergone. And so instead of the one face, there are many now. And as well, there's this gorgeous golden inclusion. Feels like it might even be some golden oil. That was part of this magical healing. The golden inclusions are often referred to as golden healers. And they are normally hematite, though I feel like this is different. This does not feel like hematite, the gold from hematite. It feels like more of a golden oil. That's just my sense. I can't tell you that for sure as a fact. I can only tell you what I'm sensing, and that's what I'm sensing. More light in this pocket where the golden oil seeped through to facilitate that healing. And then there's something else. There's a water energy in this crystal. So I feel as after it was struck by the lightning and experienced that fire, it also experienced, whether it's through a storm, whether it's through a river or a stream or something, it experienced the energy of water, and it carries that energy so clearly. It shimmers there, and I hope that you can see it. Maybe right there in that angle, you can feel that shimmer and see that water energy, or feel that water energies. So much in this crystal, and this crystal has just begun to sing. It's got so much more to say, but so much already in this crystal that somebody might have easily passed over. It's not got this brilliant clarity that we're often attracted to in the crystalline ones. It's quite dark, and it's gnarled, and it's been through quite a lot. So it doesn't have that shiny, clear beauty that we love in our crystal friends. Not to say that we don't love these, just to show you the difference and what you can find in the dark, cloudy crystals that's hidden. And that brings me to something that I've been meaning to talk about. And it's really something that I discovered not that long ago, even though I've been doing it for a very long time. It's not something that I had the words for or that I truly understood until very recently. And I have been meaning to talk about this sooner, but I'm like many of you here, an empath, a sensitive soul, a highly sensitive soul, a reclusive person. I would call myself a bit of a hermit. And I think a lot of crystal people are or have lots of moments of going inward. Or if it's not possible, because sometimes life doesn't give us that opportunity, when we do get that opportunity to go within, we empaths, hermits, sensitive souls will take that and enjoy that. We enjoy our moments of quiet, and we also enjoy our privacy, so we might not tend to spend a lot of time talking about ourselves. And I'm one of those people, so it takes a bit for me to open up and share, and it's not because I'm hiding anything. It's really just I'm one of those private people. So what it was that I had discovered is, and again, it's something that I've been doing for a very long time, since I've been connecting with the crystals, is I have this ability to see things in the crystals and in life often that seem very clear to me but are not often apparent to other people. And I think that's why it took me so long to figure it out, because to me it was just so natural that I didn't see it as something that others weren't seeing as well. And it's not that they can't see it. Anybody can see the things that I see as well. It's not like I have some special talent or gift that is exclusive to me. It's not. But it is something that I do. It's something that I do naturally, and it's something that has allowed me to see things, to see into the crystals and listen to their songs and discover things about them that other people might not notice. And when I do that, something happens. Something is, I don't have all the right words here, but I am going to do my best to try and describe what I feel happens when I see these things in the crystals. Is that something almost gets activated. The quality that I see, it's almost as if it gets activated in the crystal, not because I have some magic. Again, I don't have any magic to activate the crystals. I just am seeing them. It's witnessing. It's kind of like how somebody can see something in you that you never saw before. Some magical ability, some beautiful quality, some light. That you didn't see in yourself before, and once they've spoken the words to you, once they've told you what they see in you, you realize the truth in it. And it's something that becomes a real presence in your life. It's almost like once you've been seen, that part of you has permission to shine. And it's sort of like that with the crystals. It's once I've seen it and spoken the words and shown it to somebody else, that presence in the crystal has been given form in this existence, in this reality that might have otherwise stayed hidden. And this thing that I do takes time and patience and presence and openness. And sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes minutes, sometimes it takes hours, and sometimes it takes weeks or even years for this to come forward, for this thing in the crystal to come forward. And it could be that I haven't been ready to see it, or it could be that the time has not come, because I've noticed that I could have crystals here for many, many moons. And it just sometimes happens, like what happened with this today, with the storm and this crystal and this place where it was, and the way I was guided to move all the clutter to reveal the box where this crystal was on the top of, and how it guided me to lift it up in that moment. And then I could see in the way the light is today in this storm, I could see things that I wouldn't have seen on a sunny day. It's all very magical, and the crystals are pretty brilliant at communicating with us and getting us to see things in them, to hear them, to feel their energy. Really, the only thing that we need is trust in ourselves, trust in what we're feeling and sensing and hearing, and, trust that, we can leave that what seems like so important, a work or a task or something we were doing that seems so important in the moment, and suddenly we're out of that and into the energy of the crystal. It's very easy to disregard that pull and stubborn ourselves into staying on our task, because the mind will tell us not to get distracted and stay on our task. But the heart will guide us to where we need to go. And there are times where we are really distracted, and we really do need to stay focused on what we need to do. But this is different than that. This is a very magical experience. It's very much like the difference between our daily conscious awareness and the state of mind we shift into when we're in meditation. It's a divine space. And we can really quickly learn the difference between that guided dance, that movement of magic, and everyday distractions. And though it is easy to discern once you know, it does take some time, so you have to give yourself some time and be patient with yourself. And just have the experience. So if you get distracted from your task, you get distracted, and then you learn what the difference is between that and, the magic of the crystals. Though I sense it won't take you long because, if you're playing with crystals, you're already attuned to the magic of this world. So that is the very long, drawn-out story of this thing that I do with crystals that I've been wanting to talk to you about. And this is your introduction to this magical crystal, and I'm grateful for it coming forward today and inspiring me to talk about what it is I do, even though I did it in a very clumsy way, stumbling to find words, and with lots of hesitation. It takes time before we sometimes have language for something that is new to our lives, and I thank you for listening and for the patience you had in and the space you held for me to share that with you. And I invite you to come visit me at Song of Stones and see all the magical crystals that we have and all their beautiful qualities and their stories, which you'll find scattered throughout, especially in the section that I have, the crystals by kingdom. And that whole section was guided by the crystals, but that's for another day. I send you so much love and many blessings and lots of crystal magic is coming your way. I hope you feel that.